Okay, I'm ready. My name is Sarah Maldonado, and I am the owner of Love and Solder. That's my small business. I started about 4 years ago at a little shop, sort of like Ruby Mint. I love silversmithing. I do it anytime that I have time off. If I have a bad day at work, I come home and I pound on silver and I feel better. It's like the only thing I think about all day. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. It's like hopefully one day maybe that's all I could do. That is my dream. I love it so much, and I feel like I found something in life that I'm super passionate about. So I love it so much. I have different melting temperatures. So you would use hard first, which has the highest. So if you need the most heat, then medium would be less, easy, extra easy, and then so forth goes down. So if you have multiple pieces. So I use this ring, for example, since I've already sort of pointed it out. The flat part, so your hard solder's on your band, take your piece of silver, and then the medium solder takes the bezel and it puts it on to the top of that. Hard solder also you would put in the crease of the bezel to start that off, so there's different steps. And the people that owned it had a lot of individuals that made jewelry there, and they had a little class like we had tonight, and I got to make my first sterling silver ring, which was amazing. I had wanted to learn to silversmith for a very long time, maybe 10 years, and I kept bothering my husband to buy silver jewelry. So he found the class for me, and I went, and I haven't turned back since. I also went to some classes at Harold Studio. They're amazing. And I did open studio for a really long time there. And every year you learn something new. Every month you learn something new, a different technique. Your craft grows and you feel more confident in even stamping or soldering, and you're quicker. And I love seeing that advancement in my pieces. From last year to this year, I can see a huge improvement, and I look forward to more improvement. Learning other techniques. I'd like to get into casting, so that's kind of what's on my plate next. Turns a nice rainbow patina when it gets hot, so you'll see, did you see how it started turning? Now we just want to get it a little hot where it's sort of. So just quench it, and now that metal is softer and it's ready to be stamped. So it is my honor to put this on you. I'm making you more of a queen than you are. Oh yeah! What's it? Sweet! Okay, I gotta take a picture of this. On there? Yeah! Woo! There we go! And then you just start. You got it, girl! Now
how long have you been doing this for?
Probably, it's been about 4 years, I think.
4 years.
It might be 5, but I lose count.
Yeah.
I think that I took that class when I can't remember. It was either 4 or 5 years ago when I first took that Moon Age class and went to buy my supplies, and that's when I found Harold's from another person that took classes there, and went to Harold's and stayed there for a long time and used their equipment because they have open studio. And then slowly my mom actually supported me and bought me my torch and my flex shaft that I have at home, and she bought me all this equipment. So eventually I was like, well, I should probably do something at home. So I have a little studio that's in one of the rooms at my house, and that's kind of where I do my work. It's actually like my hideaway. If I have a bad day, I go and make jewelry, and it seriously turns all my bad feelings into good feelings.
Yeah.
I love it. I eventually would love to do it full time. We'll see how it grows. It takes a lot of time, but I love it. It's not work. It's fun.
Yeah.
And I like seeing the growth. It's really cool to see one piece. I wish I would have brought that first ring that I made to show the difference, but it's really cool to be able, and just to different techniques and being able to add more to the rings. is super fun to see. And once you get faster at things too, you're just like, whoa. I remember when I struggled with that lint. There you go. A little more, like a, oh, beautiful. And then I might turn, so if it's that low, I might turn it up just a bit so that it heats up a little faster. Just in a circular motion. There you go, beautiful. And then and as far as my inspirations, I mean, a lot of people are inspired by nature, so I'd say that's part of it. I love Mexican culture, so I do like the Sacred Hearts and Day of the Dead stuff. Also love hip hop music, so some of my pieces have hip hop lyrics, and I look forward to doing more and more of those. So that's a big part of it. And you know, with stones, I am always looking for a new, interesting stone to use to set. I like different shapes. I just bought some coffin cabochons that are really cool. I've been working a lot with heart shapes. I love that. Hexagon stuff. I like beehives and bees and those types of shapes. So probably going to be more of that going on. We've got brass hammers we can use for stamping, and then this is like a 2-pound, it's a steel hammer, 2.5 pounds. It's heavy but when you want a big, so stamps, some of the stamps that I bought from the guy that lives in town, his stamps have like a lot of flat parts of the stamp. So these that have a very defined line, if that makes sense, like a butterfly has lines. Some of the other stamps that have more flat parts, you really have to put some brutal force into those, or they end up looking like just like I don't know, I've done it so many times, it just looks like a flat thing. Like there's no, like, where's my stamp? I hit that really hard. So slowly I start to learn that stamping is something that took me a long time to, I'm not saying that I'm an expert at it by any means, but a lot better, a lot deeper impressions, and it's something that I work at continuously, always practicing, trying to get better, do new things. Yeah. It's fun. And so you gotta try it again. If you have your little wedge thing, you can get it right back in where it was and keep working at it. So you kind of want to work it sides, top, and or you can leave it in there. I was moving it just to show you guys, but find your wedge, move it again, move it again. And you've got a beautiful, now I'm going to be all anal about getting it right. You always want it to be 0 when you start, even if it's not closed the whole way. And then you pull it down and you use this size of it. This side, sorry, not size. And you want to try to get it in the center of that ring. So, I do not have a website at this moment, but I'm building one. It's going to be loveandsolder.com. I have the domain name, I just have to connect everything. Then also, I have my jewelry at Ruby Mint. This is actually some of my jewelry right here. Those are my earrings. And pretty much, I put the jewelry on my website and here. And then I'm doing a couple events coming up. I'm doing Pineapple Triangle in November. and I'm doing Hello Handmade in December, so I will have a booth at both of those events.
Awesome.
And
Cool.
Pineapple Triangle, the portions of the proceeds go to a foundation for children and cancer. So that's cool. I am a dietitian during the day and I work at a cancer center, so it's something that's close to my heart.
Yeah.
If that one doesn't work, I brought extra markers just in case. Did it? Okay, good. Perfect. So now you'll get the pliers. So you have a little bit of extra metal to file down. Nothing?
I was asking, what are you doing? And she was like, Sam.
What advice would you give somebody who wants to start, like their own jewelry business or business in general?
So business, I am learning as I go. That's something hard, especially the social media portion and taking photographs and marketing and all of that and making the jewelry. I need someone to do that other stuff, but posting photos of the jewelry you're making is a big thing. Being involved, having a social media account, keeping it up, doing events, giving out cards. I will say one of the biggest things is wearing all of your jewelry you make. So when you go, and always have business cards in your purse. When you go somewhere, people will say, oh, I like your jewelry, and you can say, oh, I made it, here's a business card. So that's actually helped me immensely, and it really does take time to grow. I feel like I don't have a huge customer base, but it's always growing, and I look forward to it growing. Like I said, I would eventually like to do it full time. That's my goal, so I'm not giving up, and I am pretty determined.
Yeah.
If you're looking to start making jewelry, I would just find classes. Harold's, if you live locally, is a great place to go. They have Jewelry 1 class that gives you pretty much all the basics that you need to make a ring. You learn soldering and sawing and all the basics. If you take Jewelry 1, you can kind of go from there. They're extremely helpful. I love the group there. And then just practice. The more you practice, the better you get. I used to teach yoga, and I would tell people what you practice grows stronger, and I say it a lot, but I feel very strongly about it with my jewelry and even with yoga. It's like it's practice. So I feel the same way about my jewelry, and keep practicing, you do get better. Even though it's an expensive hobby and you will melt silver, hold on to your scrap silver. You can turn it into something else, like a piece of shot for your ring.
Awesome.
Flip it around. Now it's clean. And you can kind of take it off. And we'll put it in the third hand because it's our stomped. Now, we're talking about flux and solder and all that jazz. This is where it comes in. This is Handy Flux. And I like this one because it's thicker. Some of them are all liquid. And the liquid, it's hard to see where the solder is. This is a brand new container, so you kind of get a good amount of it. Now, anywhere you paint flux, the solder will flow. So you kind of want, actually I'm going to pull this out. So you want to get it into the crease and sort of under it and on the other side, but not all the way around the ring, because you don't want your solder to flow except for through that crack.
Do I put it back in there?
It doesn't matter. You can. I clean it probably. Go. And it's like in the seam. Perfect. It's good. Okay, so now we'll put it in the third hand. And for the purpose of this, I'm probably just going to use like
how did you come up with your name?
It was sort of a fluke. I guess it was hard actually. I was thinking for a while, and then I thought, what is my jewelry made from? And like, I love silversmithing. I love making jewelry. So love was kind of easy. And then I was like, what else is it made with? Solder is like the glue for silver. So I thought, love and solder. That's what it's made with. Solder, S-O-L-D-E-R, is most people say solder. It's actually solder, S-O. We'll think D-D-E-R. Sounds like solder, but that's, what it's made with. And really, I do put so much love into every piece that I make. It almost becomes like my child. So when I give a very important piece to somebody, it's like I'm giving a piece of my heart to them, or a child, and I hope that they go to good homes and that they're loved.
What's your Instagram handle so people can find you?
It's at Love and Solder, and then I just made a Facebook. I don't really know what it looks like, but if you put Facebook and Love and Solder, it should come up, and it's pretty much a reflection of everything that's on Instagram.
Awesome.